Hey, beautiful souls, beautiful sunshine here with the R Holistic Killer, aka Sonia B. So I am back with several different prophetic messages. So with that being said, please bear with me. There is a lot, and only take what resonates with you because these are different energies that different people could be experiencing. But you take it. Only take what resonates with you, what you feel like resonates with you in your specific journey, okay? Because again, all these messages may not resonate with every single person, although it could, I'm here and it could just be a few if all of them resonate with each and every one of you. But again, only take what pertains to your situation and leave the rest, okay? And I just want to say, for those who are new to my channel, I want to say welcome. And for those of you who are returning back, I want to say welcome back, okay? So with that being said, let's get into the message. So the way I saw this, and I'm going to condense this down, I'm going to give you the somewhat message just to make it shorter. Normally I give you the details of the dreams, but I have so many messages that I'm trying to put them all in this one message. So bear with me, okay? And at the end, I will give you a scripture that was being given to me as well, too. So if you are the adult, whether you're hearing this or whether you are the adult that is doing this, please be mindful of how you speak to children, okay? Children are very impressionable. Children can be very sensitive. One thing I have learned on this journey is that, I myself didn't realize how sensitive I was. People used to tell me, even as like an adult, why are you so sensitive? Why are you so sensitive? And I realized on this journey why I was so sensitive in a sense, okay? But I say all that to say sometimes you have people that are empaths, and children are empaths. Children can be empaths as well too. So sometimes when you're handling children and you're dealing with children in a way that, they don't necessarily understand because they look up to you as the adult in a sense, sometimes you can find yourself doing more damage than you even realize, especially for that child growing up or either that child once they become an adult, okay? So I've always said, and I said some time ago, I never knew where this was coming from, but then, God started revealing it to me when I used to say it. I used to tell people that whatever you don't deal with from your childhood, it's going to affect you in your adult life, okay? And just as I said that, I saw the clock said 222. So with that being said, we have to be mindful of how we speak to children, okay? We have to be mindful because, again, kids are very impressionable, and sometimes some people can have kids who are sensitive, who are higher frequency of higher vibration, and therefore, again, you don't want it to be a situation that you're spoiling someone's spirit, okay? So we have to be mindful with words, because not only that, but words carry energy and power behind them, whether we realize it or not. The next message, I received a message, like I saw someone that I knew, and it was as if the message that was being given to me was like, I saw them kind of like arguing with a female in a sense, and only message that I heard from that was they're serving their karma, I guess, for how they treated other people in a sense, okay? So again, only take what resonates. So whether you're seeing somebody experiencing this situation or whether you're the one in this particular situation. So the next message that I received was on September 27th. This was, okay, so some of you guys may experience a situation, whether this is somebody doing this physically in your immediate environment, that are kind of seeking you out in a sense, or whether somebody is doing this spiritually, because in this dream, it was like, I got like these people are like suitors in a sense. They're like suitors in a sense. So this guy had approached me and he was wearing like a royal blue suit, and he was just trying to let me know, like, I'm worthy of your attention. I'm worthy of your time. Okay. Cause the blue was like meant royalty in a sense, like, but anyway, so it's like he was trying to get my attention in a dream. But nevertheless, some of you guys, you may be dealing with a situation, whether you may be seeing somebody coming to you spiritually, or whether you may be dealing with this physically, somebody being physically, look like they're kind of seeking you out in a sense, okay? So just be mindful of that as well, too. And I just heard that speak your truth, in other words. So in other words, don't mislead somebody if your intentions aren't to, if the feeling isn't mutual, okay? So anyway, Okay, so I say all that to say this next message is very important. So if some of you guys are having, let's just say, prayer time with God in a sense, and you're making your petitions and your requests be known, just be mindful, because the way I saw this was people trying to project energy, kind of like to disrupt that prayer in a sense. So I say all that to say some of you guys are moving and evolving into higher frequency and higher vibrations. And with that being said, to much is given, much is required. So therefore, if you're going to have to be intentional with your words, you're going to have to be mindful of how you act, how you move in a sense, because it's almost like there are, I just heard, like master manipulators out here in a sense, to the point that they can project energy at you as you trying to say prayer, and almost like trip your words up in a sense, to where instead of you saying, let's just say if you said like, I want like in a how can I say it? Like, you want to make sure that you're being very specific is what I'm hearing when you're saying your prayer. And if you mess up, just say, I didn't mean to say that, but basically correct yourself. Because if you leave it like that, it's almost like wherever you're focusing your energy at, and if somebody's projecting energy at you and you slipped up and said something you didn't want to say, like as an example, like like this, I'm absorbing all of this negative energy, and then somebody comes along, say, I am not absorbing all this negative energy. You get what I'm saying? Like, you was like, wait, where did that come from? No, I want this selenite to absorb all the negative energy, like that in a sense. So just be mindful of that, because that's what God had showed me. Okay, so again, as you rise higher and evolve higher, your frequency is raising, and people, I just heard, like, can sense that. And with that being said, sometimes that could be a situation that people try to look at that as an opportunity situation, that they try to, how can I say it, that they try to manifest something that they want, but it's almost like using you to trip up your words, if that makes sense. Okay, just bear with me, I'm trying to explain it the best way I could. So again, just be mindful of what you're saying, what you're speaking. Okay. The next message I received was on the 29th, and this message was about, oh, I said be intentional with your words. Bear with me, y'all. It was just like so many side notes. Okay, so the way I saw this was somebody, imagine looking into a mirror, okay? Imagine looking in the mirror and you see somebody going like this in the mirror. I saw there was like a gentleman in the mirror. He was, fixing himself, doing self-care and just taking care of himself. And the message that I received from that was, after I saw him doing this, like taking care of himself, all of a sudden I saw a woman had appeared in a sense. It's almost like when he took care of himself, then all of a sudden, whether it be one's divine counterpart, whether it be their soulmate, or whether it be, a situation of somebody that you was meaning that you were supposed to meet, okay? Somebody part of your soul group. So as you care and nurture yourself, you're also drawing in those people who are resonating at the same frequency as you, okay? So I say all that to say nurturing and self-care is very important, because what I'm hearing is if you are someone who normally takes care of yourself, okay, you obviously are somebody who know how to take care of other people. So if you're someone who don't normally take care of yourself, normally that's a situation of you don't know how to take care of other people. And when I say take care of other people, I mean treat them the way that you want to be treated. So I say all that to say that it's going to be very important for you to make sure you're nurturing yourself, you're taking care of yourself, and just making sure that, you're doing you're practicing self-care, okay? Because again, the message was, as you take care of yourself, you are also drawing in your soulmate, divine counterpart, whatever it is that you're drawing in, okay? So with that being said, and the other message that I'm hearing as well too is that, you know, once you love yourself and you care for yourself and you nurture yourself, and as I said, I just saw 1010. As you do those things, what's happening here is because as you do that, that means that God can trust you with, let's just say, a counterpart that you're going to be able to reciprocate that same energy to them. Okay, just like that same energy is going to be reciprocated to you. So God is not going to allow any situation to come together that is not fully together, is what I just heard. So therefore, it's going to be important that you nurture and care and take care of yourself in any situation. Okay, because God is not going to send somebody to you especially if you're not on that situation of, if you're not learning if you're not in a if you're not in a karmic situation to the point that you're still learning karmic lessons in a sense, then of course that may be a situation. But if somebody is actually not in a, when people are in healthier relationships, okay, the giving and taking is balanced, okay? Giving and receiving is balanced. Nothing is unbalanced, and God is going to make sure of that. So therefore, if you're somebody who took advantage of people back once upon a time, you're not going to be able to go into relationships thinking that you're going to move in the same exact way, because it's not going to happen, okay? So I just want to let you know that. So the key is, the way to speeding up your process for is bringing in your divine counterpart is making sure you care for yourself, take care of yourself, nurture yourself, because as you do that for you, you're also doing it for them, okay, energetically. They don't have to be in front of you, but you're also doing it for them, especially those of you who have spiritual connections with the other individual, okay? But I also heard too that if you don't love you, then how can you love somebody else? So this is, and I just saw 12:12 when I said that. So this is the reason why it's important to, again, take care of yourself. The next message is, okay, so some of you guys are going to be finding yourself in a situation. I know we have these different shifts that are taking place, that are coming up. Some of you guys are, it's almost like people are going to kind of go different directions. And I say all that to say, some are going to be asked to go a little higher, and some are going to be asked to speak their truth. You know, whatever that truth may be, some accent, you know, everybody's situation is going to be different. Okay. Again, somebody's maybe asked to go to the left, some may be asking to go to the right, especially if they're people who are part of your soul tribe, or that you have within your immediate environment. Some people are going to be experiencing different realities in a sense. So again, some, you know, whatever, everybody's situation is going to be different. What else? Let's see. I will say this too. As I said, people are experiencing different situations. There's going to be some situation where there are going to be some divine unions taking place with, you know, some people in a sense. And I say all that to say that, you know, if you were somebody who didn't speak your truth before and you kept everything on the inside because you know, for whatever reasons that you didn't want to speak up, it's almost like the universe is going to require you to speak up. I just heard even force, okay? So take it how it resonates. But as I told you guys before, these energies is picking up momentum. So I know we have an eclipse that is coming through here somewhere close to the end of the month, somewhere around about the 20th or something like that. And each and every day, this energy is kind of picking up momentum in a sense, and it's not going to help. I believe that it's somewhere around about that. I think it's during that new moon or full moon time frame. Yeah, during a new moon time frame. So I say all that to say that the new moon energy on top of eclipse energy, if it's something like it was last year, I'm gonna just tell you, hold on to your boots. That's all I'm gonna say, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, when I say hold on to your boots, I mean like hold on to your boots, because this is a situation that even you can't control. Okay. I did get a message of too. It's almost like we were all on this journey. We was all kind of experiencing situations, and everybody hasn't experienced every different element just yet, but we will experience the 5 different stages of initiation, going through the fire, going through air, going through earth energy, going through water, and going through, the spirit energy. In other words, these are all energies that's helping us to become alchemists in a sense. Okay. So I had another dream too, where I saw that there was another dream, a second dream, where there was a divine counterpart coming together. And the way I received this message was some of these divine masculine and the handful of divine feminines who it's applying for. It's almost like they're remembering what home feels like. What makes you happy? What makes you feel secure? What makes you feel more stable? What makes you feel happy in this world? So some of you guys, the way I'm seeing this is some of you going to be, you're going to find yourself being drawn to the other individual. You're going to find yourself being drawn to the other individual. That's just the way I saw it. You're going to find yourself being drawn. It's almost like a magnet, like being the magnets just coming together. Okay. That's what's taking place. And sometimes when God has asked people to move or do things, and sometimes when, people can kind of get stuck in their patterns, their habits, in their ways, in a sense, to the point that, sometimes the universe have to just kind of step in and hand force a situation is what I just heard. So whoever that applies for. What else? So I also received a message of, and I just heard too, because so much is falling away from people's lives. So many people have been abrupt changes. Thank you, Holy Spirit. So many people have been having like abrupt changes. There's been shifting and moving of people in your life, out of your life. And sometimes you think when somebody's coming in your life, you think that they're coming there for the long term, and then all of a sudden they're gone just like that. Anything that you try to bring in your life, that you try to force, and if it doesn't fit, it's like a puzzle piece, what I just heard. If it doesn't fit, and if it wasn't meant to be there, out it goes. Okay. What else? Let's see. Then, okay, so I received this dream last night, and this one came through as if it was like I saw somebody that I knew. They were on TV, but it was if they were running, like a whole bunch of people were running. I kind of got the feeling like, how when those people, how when they're like chasing the bulls and they kind of running, the people running in front of the bulls and they let the bulls loose. It was kind of like that, but there was no bulls around. But I just saw somebody that I knew on TV. They just kind of, I could see them at a distance and everybody running behind them. And then they just kind of came in front of the TV. So I don't know if this is a situation that some of you guys may see somebody on TV that maybe you may know, that you may recognize. That's the only thing I got from that message pretty much. And something pertaining to their little brother. Something pertaining to their little brother. I'm not sure. Something. So I don't know if the mob of people was running because it had something to do with his little brother. That's all I heard in that message. So again, take that how it resonates. If it doesn't fit, then don't force it to fit. But again, that message may just be for a specific individual and not everyone, okay? The next message that I received was, oh, okay. Thank you. Sorry, I had to read the notes real quick. So the way I saw this was this was kind of like some dark shadow type energy. Okay. Like, I'm not sure if this has something to do with like the dark night of the soul, but just some like, I got the feeling like dark energy. So I don't know if this has something to do with pertaining around Halloween. I'm not sure, but it felt a little, on guard, meaning like, okay, watch out, like something doesn't seem right to watch that. Okay, so the way I saw this was, it was if it was myself, really quick, if it was as if it was myself and my sister. So if you guys are planning on going somewhere in like a group setting, if you plan on going somewhere in like a group setting with other people around, and it has to do with pertaining to nighttime, I don't know, just be mindful. I'm not trying to not trying to fear monger, but for me in this dream, I kind of got like maybe somebody's intuition was on guard in a sense. The intuition was kind of on guard, okay? Because it's like myself. Okay, so it was like my sister in the dream, like she was a little hesitant. We got out. Okay, so we was walking towards a building, and right before we was at the building doorway, but the building doorway doors were open. And right by the doorway, as soon as you walk in, it was dark. But you could see the light on the other side. Like maybe like down the hallway or something like that. And my sister in the dream, she kind of like her antennas went off like I'm not trusting this, like maybe we shouldn't go in a sense, like. And I just kind of looked at her like, I guess for myself I guess I wasn't too much worried about it in a sense. I guess because I knew I was protected. I'm not sure, but in a sense, not saying that she wasn't protected, but I guess sometimes when you're not ready for something is what I'm hearing. Sometimes when you're not ready for something, you know what you're ready for, but sometimes you may not be necessarily ready for it. But it's almost like they're kind of listening to their intuition in a sense. So as we walked away, and she was like, well, I think I'm just going to go home and clean. So we walked away from the doorway. And as we walked away from the doorway, it's like you could see this lady. She was kind of like, she was like in a black, shadowy, like energy in a sense. And make no mistake, I was with my sister in this dream, but it could have been an instance where my sister was with actually somebody else, and it may not have been me. I could have just been seeing it from their perspective in a sense. But nevertheless, as we were walking away, I could see this lady, and this lady looked like she had like almost like a knife in her hand, a sharp edged knife, like a Michael Myers knife in her hand. And she was just kind of like, she walked. I didn't see her walk out of that specific building that we was about to go into, but I could just kind of see her going like from here, like she had been going from here to there. And the way I got it was like she was looking to see who she could, I don't know if the word is devour or spoil their spirit or taint their spirit or cause them to become upset. Nevertheless, she was there to do some damage, okay? And I just saw 22 is when I said that, okay? Nevertheless, she was there to do some damage. And I mean spiritually, okay? Because I got this was like shadow type energy, okay? So I know we are in the month of October, and we know that sometimes the ancestors come back around about this time. Sometimes, actually, they started coming back like last month, should I say. But certain people got certain missions during certain times of the year when they have permission to come back, because the veils are so thin that people, come back and interact with individuals who are here on this earthly plane. So just be mindful of who you're entertaining with, who has crossed over. That's all I want to tell you. Just remember how they lived their life when they were here in this current life, and be mindful of who you connect with once they pass over. I'm not telling anyone not to connect with individuals, but all I'm saying is you just have to remember how they live their life, because the last thing you want to do is connect with somebody who has passed over, who didn't necessarily live their life right. And I say all that to say, because sometimes souls are looking for vessels to use, especially if they have like unfinished business. They're finding an empty soul or someone who they feel like is as I would say, their aura field is wide open. It's not sealed shut in a sense. So therefore, it's almost like their frequency is low. And then what happens is they basically kind of steps into that person's body, and then they become used by that spirit. Okay. So when you hear people talk about possessions and, all that other stuff, it's real. Now, granted, the TV may dramatize it, as if I'm saying that right. Dramatize it anyway, something like that anyway, but nevertheless, yes, it does happen. So anyway, but let me move on from there. So just be mindful of that, because we are in the month of October as well too. So I had another dream too where it was as if I got the feeling like somebody had reached out to somebody, but then somebody put somebody on hold, and then another relative picked up the phone and say, hold on, they're coming. But then another relative was just kind of showing, they had like this wallet that they pulled out, and they were saying, like, I had so many, you want to see all my kids? Because the last time I think I saw them, they may have had 3 kids in a sense. But this time around, when I saw them in a dream, they pulled out a wallet, and all the pictures just fell down. I was like, good Lord, that's a lot of pictures of kids in a sense. But I thought to myself, the first thing I thought about was kind of like Nick Cannon in a sense, like, although this individual wasn't Nick Cannon, but, you know, I guess all just the children that he has been birthing into this world lately. You know, again, this person's, and I don't mean like it just fell like from here to here, but it fell to the ground in a sense. I was like, good Lord. But anyway, so that was it for that message. So I don't know who that message is for. Again, it could just be an individual, one particular person. And then this last message came was, again, a second time I saw this. This time it was during nighttime. So the first message I said I saw when people were actually running, this was during daytime. This message is coming where I saw people kind of running during nighttime. So I'm not sure if this is a situation of this was pertaining to like Hollywood or some sort of event. I know that a lot of schools are having like homecomings coming up as well too. So I'm not sure, but I do know it could possibly pertain into possibly either one of those events. Not quite sure, but I got the feeling of like a parent and a child. So for me, I kind of thought maybe probably it was Halloween, because usually it's a parent and child that usually takes the child out in a sense. But the way I saw it was as if there were people who they were walking at one point, but then all of a sudden they started running, like something had happened. What exactly happened, I don't quite know. So just be mindful of that. If you guys do, you know, take your kids out in a sense, just, you know, be aware. Okay. But anyway, so those are all the messages that I have. So let me give you this quick message real quick. Oops. Hold on, y'all. Okay, so yeah, I received this message actually yesterday. It says Proverbs 29 and 27, and I was told to read it to you guys. So it says, fear of man will prove to be a snare, okay? Fear of man will prove to be a snare. So when we sit up here and we fear man, you know, I don't care if it's your own father. I don't care if it's your brother. I don't care if it's your cousin. I don't care if it's your uncle, your grandpa, whoever, your boss, or even the president of the United States. God is asking us not to even fear man, okay? Because man is just like you. They bleed just like you do, okay? But it says, fear of man will prove to be a snare, okay? But whomever trusts in the Lord is kept safe. So when you put your trust within God and not within man, you're kept safe. But when you keep your trust within man, expect the unexpected, okay? And this last one was Isaiah 55 and 6 says, seek the Lord while he may be found. Okay, so I say all that to say that it's almost like God allows an opportunity for you to just kind of, again, put in your prayer and your petition, you know, to him. He wants you to call upon him. He says, call on him while he is near. Okay, so while he is near, because when he's not near, and then that's when people are really seeking him, and it makes it hard for people to really find him. So while you have access to him now, you might want to seek him out, especially before this eclipse energy, okay? I mean, honestly, before this eclipse energy, okay? That's all I can tell you. So, I was going to say something. And two songs came up, too, that has been playing in my mind. It was playing when I woke up this morning. The two songs one is by Glenn Jones and the other one is by Shalamar. Glenn Jones was We've Only Just Begun, The Message Is Not Over. I have a lot of love to give. You heard my phone, right? Confirmation. Anyway, I have a lot of love to give, okay? Then it was the Shalamars. I think it was the Loving You. The Loving You. Okay, yeah. So anyway, I'll make it a point to try to put the lyrics in the description box below. But yeah, go read those words or either go listen to the song. Like, I mean, literally, when I get up out of bed in the morning, that's all I hear playing in my head. I'll be walking around trying to, in between work and that's all I hear playing in my ears. So there's specific messages that stood out in a sense in each and every one of those songs. Okay. And then there was, I'm sorry, I've been told to tell you this one too as well too. There was another one that said, thank you, it came right up, by Champaign. Oh, the song that says, maybe we can try again. Try. Pay me no mind, y'all. Anyway, so yeah, but with that being said, just know that, again, certain people are discovering what home feels like, because sometimes in order for people to appreciate what they really have, sometimes they have to go out here and really experience for the world to drag them, wipe their feet on them, treat them a certain type of way, including myself, because to be honest with you, like, this journey has had its hands full. Let me just say that. But anyway, but I say all that to say, like, God allow us to go through this experience so we can really see what is really important to us, okay? Because once we realize that, you think when you walk out your front door, you think that the world is really embracing you, when you're really starting to realize that sometimes the world just manipulate, for their own personal advantage. But God has made us aware of the hidden secrets that has been going on that we wasn't even quite aware of, that was going on behind the surface. Okay, so that in itself is something to be very grateful for. I know sometimes it could piss a person off, because it pissed me off at first, in a sense. And sometimes I'm still trying to digest it, because I'm like, Lord, I don't understand. Like, why you allow this to happen? Like, seriously, like, really? Like, where's the spanking at? Where's the discipline at? But I said all that to say that even those people who have been doing some of the things that they have been doing, in a sense, it's almost like they were also teaching me something as well too. Just, to be mindful of not to be sleep, and to know that how people truly are. And then, you can't go around, embracing your arms open to everyone, because everyone doesn't always have your best interests at heart. Okay. And I will say this, the other day when I went to the grocery store, this lady had basically told me to go to hell. She basically told me to go to hell. And I looked at her and I was like, bye. And luckily I was not moved by what she said. It kind of, it teed me off a little bit, but luckily I was in a more mentally strong place in a sense. And I say all that to say, because I wasn't phased by the fact that she told me to go to hell, in a sense, because I could see when I was in the store, I had already spotted her out, in a sense. And it's almost like her energy was already giving me like dark energy. But instead of her walking in the center aisle, she chose to walk very close to near where I was at. So, with me knowing how energy works, I'm just like this in a sense. And she's like, well, what you waving your hand for? Well, she said, what you doing that for? And then I looked at her and I was like, I said, bye. And then she was just like, she said, go to hell. And then I thought to myself, once I got home, I was like, wait a minute. I just got back from hell. So I say all that to say that on this journey, you will be tried by people, and not only that, but, there may be people that people may encounter, because the way I see it is, she was telling me to go to hell at that moment. But at the same time, just with her being within my presence, she was also receiving healing at the same time, But at the same time, I couldn't allow her to just be, just kind of talking to me anyway. So I just told her, bye, just go, bye, in a sense. But yeah, so, but again, thankfully, I was in a stronger place, or mentally a much stronger place, because like I said, sometimes if somebody, just think about it, somebody tell a person to go to hell and they're in a not so good mental space, in a sense, But anyway, but yeah, I thought to myself, I just got back from hell. So, and I don't mean hell in the sense of I'm bringing the devil back. That's not the point. But the point of the point that I'm trying to make is that on this journey, you will have to go to hell and back, so you can understand that you do have a shadow side. You do have a light side. That's the yin and the yang that we all are trying to balance. And God allows us to visit hell so that we can see our shadow sides within ourselves of who we are, which is a part of our DNA, which is a part of, our parents, which is we have some of our mother in us, we have some of our father in us, and we have to remember that and just pick and choose what you choose to take from, either or, and take with you forward. You could take the positive, you could take the negatives, but nevertheless, you have both your mother and your father in you. So with that being said, I'm going to end it there. And I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day. And I say much love and I say much light. And I'm going to end it there. Bye.